Welcome everybody. This is Ankita here from Education Street, and I'm very excited to kickstart today Decode Masters in US series. It's a webinar series, and that's exactly why I'm excited, because it's our efforts towards making students understand which major or which MS is best suitable for them when they're going to US, going to spend so much of their time, money, and efforts. So definitely this is what is of major importance before you start your journey. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. A few things just for you all to know. There's a chat function which is there available to you. All of you can use that to post your questions, which is going to be answered later. Meanwhile, as we are going to just start, my team have shared Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook links with you. You may follow us there because that's where we come up every day with a lot of information. So let's start looking at the audience and the numbers. This really makes me happy. And as promised, we start at 6 sharp. So as I am going to be today's host, let me quickly introduce who am I. So basically, I'm founder and I'm someone who started Education Street 10 years back in 2010. It's been a decade, and I love saying that because this is exactly where my calling is. I love supporting, mentoring, guiding students across countries. We have sent students. Yes, US is our major forte. Canada, Germany, Australia, UK, France, Netherlands. These are some of the very, very good destinations, and we have sent to some really good universities. And that's exactly what our background says about. However, personally, I'm an IT engineer as well, and I worked as a software engineer later on with Tech Mahindra. Moved on, took up my GMAT, and I went after 3 years of experience to do my MBA because I wanted to go into management. I started with University of Leeds. I did my management there. However, I was always a person who would love talking and communicate and helps to people. So I also did counseling as a parallel thing to my MBA with UK Council. Never ever I had imagined that that's going to be my major profession later. Then later, I was recruited by British Petroleum in London. I worked as a management trainee with them for a year and a half. And it was a brilliant experience. And I never wondered that I'm going to look for something beyond it. But I did. And that's exactly what I did. I left my job in 2010 with a very strong mind and a very strong thought that I want to start something of my own. And that's where Education Street came in picture. Personally, I am married to a wonderful husband, and he is a very hustling husband with his own setup of business. I'm a mother to a 3.5-year-old daughter who keeps me on my toes, and I'm completely fixated by traveling and yoga and meditation and reading a lot of books on self-help. So that's exactly who am I. And traveling is something which I do personally on my level as well, and also for the profession, because I have been to most of the countries that I promote. I've been to a lot of universities, almost 28 countries plus I have been traveling. So this is how I bring in as a host today, and this is how I'm going to start the session for today. Saying this, let's talk about the agenda today. And what a good number. I'm so happy with the number of people who have joined in. Absolutely brilliant. So welcome people who have joined in. I couldn't welcome you as I did for earlier people, but welcome on board. This is Ankita here. And today's agenda is very crisp and very, very informative. I would request everyone to stay till the end, because you won't get a complete picture if you don't stay till the end. There's enough for you to know that that's exactly which is going to help you to save a lot of your money and make a right decision that which masters should be done in US. Okay. So we are going to talk about MS and CS major, because that's exactly what today's webinar is. Application materials, university selection, credit system in USA, which we all, I'm sure, are not aware of. US education cost and return of investment, money matters, yeah, and job trends in US related to computer science. What are the job roles in computer science? What are the salary ranges? This is exactly what I'm going to talk about. At Education Street, we pay a lot of attention to what student dilemmas are when they're considering to go abroad. Let me bring you one thing over here. Most of the students fall trap to wrong trends, or they follow herd mentality, or there are enough people who don't realize what they have to do and go for a wrong masters in US or any other country. We want to save you from that, because if you do that, you're going to put your money, efforts, and everything into a container which is not going to serve the best for you. So you're going to put a seed inside, but it might not be the best plant which will come out of it, because you have not chosen the right major. Hence, we have started this webinar series where we want to break down each MS in US. Today is MS in computer science, the next is electrical, then there is mechanical, there's a lot of data science, a lot of programs which we have, and my team would share the corresponding schedule as well with you, and you may register for those MS also to dissect which one is the best MS for you. Okay, so this is the agenda, and we really want you to be sure of what you want to study. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you what are the top reasons when it comes to studying in US. Okay, so what and why you would study in US. Firstly, there is a lot of focus on quality and not quantity. Okay, so what I would say is US has 2 years of masters. They have limited subjects. They have not limited, I would say they have crisp subjects and really updated subjects, and that's exactly what students love. Have you ever asked why is US a big daddy when it comes to engineers or typically technology or STEM programs? Because they are the best into it. Because they just don't provide education, but they also provide you opportunities for your careers to be there. So top tech companies invest in your education. So Facebook, Oracle, SAP, you name it, Google, all of them, they typically invest in most of the top 200, 300 schools in US to actually breed students and get the best out of them, because that's exactly how they would grow. They're not doing any charity. You know, the entire Silicon Valley or any tech company which is bigger, Indians have always proved to be the most important asset. And that's exactly why USA is one of the very nurturing country for engineers and even IT graduates. It's very important that you consider to go to US in case if you're looking out to have the best education into it. Third, opportunities to gain experience and pocket money. You're allowed to work part-time. There's internship opportunities. There are good salaries. They are the best payer in the market. There's a good career progression. All in all is available when you go to MS in US. These are the major reasons. And Indian students, as per se, even me, probably everyone here, probably, we all really want to have something which is having great return on investment, has good career progression. We have the money or not, we really want to see a picture that how our money is going to get returned, and there's nothing wrong in it. That's exactly what I'm going to calculate for you also by the end, that how are you going to return your money, the money that you're going to invest in your MS and CS program. So be there, tune there, and I'm going to get you there. Okay, this is how it is. Choose your own subjects. You are the master of your program. This is what you must have heard by a lot of your seniors, lot of your people around and stuff. So basically, choose your own subjects. You're tailoring your own subjects. How? I am going to explain that to you, and you will come to know that how are we going to choose your own subjects. So that's exactly what US provides you, and how wonderful it is, right? In India, we are very used to follow the curriculum which is being set for us. But when you go for a master's, you definitely want to do what you want to do. And that's what US provides you. Okay. So this is exactly what you need to do upon. Okay. Now let's start with choosing your majors. Okay. So choosing your majors is something which is very important, and hence we are running this PPT as well. In this case, you need to ask yourself certain questions. What are you good at? Are you good to do this for next 5 years? Do not follow what is trending. Choose and research your topic. So suppose all the people who have joined in here for computer science as an option, I'm assuming that computer science is something which comes easily to you. You love coding, you love other things, you love software, you love technology, you love the science behind it. If not, be true to yourself. Don't just follow because you did your engineering or your BSc in IT or computer science, and that is a gradual progression. People have said that this is the highest paying job, this is where most of the jobs are there. Please be true to yourself. You need to be true to yourself, because if you are not, you're probably going to sulk and brood your entire life, and we really don't want you to do this. And that's why we are having this session. You are going to get a help from us to choose your major. You don't have to go for something which you're not good at. You can still go for what you're good at and make a career out of this. So choose your major very, very consciously, and be very, very transparent on what you like and what you're comfortable at. So guys, there are two types of masters when you go to US. Okay, so there is masters of science, which is MS, which is called as, which is always with a thesis component. So you have 4 semesters. In US, most of the masters are for 2 years. When I say it is for 2 years, you typically have 4 semesters. 3 semesters are where you choose your subjects in each semester. The 4th semester is where you do a thesis, a research on a topic that you choose. Okay, so I'm going for computer science and I'm very interested towards AI or ML or deep learning or whatever. I will choose a thesis topic into it. Now this is where I get to nurture what I want to get deeper into and have a career progression ahead into. MS can also be followed with a job, and MS can also be followed with a PhD. Okay, that's how the progression can be. The second kind of degree which you can go for is masters in engineering or masters in professional degree, which is without thesis. So you go for masters in computer science or any of the masters. However, this is a professional degree. That means it's still a 2-year program, but all your 4 semesters are with taught programs, that is with taught subjects. So all my 4 semesters, I'm selecting something related to computer science to build my concept more and more skillfully and with a practical knowledge. There is no thesis. That means I can progress only to get a job further. Okay, am I clear? You cannot go for a PhD. So if you are someone who wants to go for a PhD and keep it open, you definitely need a master's or an MS with thesis as an option. Okay, so please keep this in mind. A lot of students have a myth that MS in CS has more job opportunities as compared to masters in engineering or professional. You are absolutely wrong. That's not true. It is very, very important that you go for MS in engineering in case you don't want to do a thesis program. In fact, MS in engineering or masters in engineering, you may get a little higher university than an MS in CS because they're a little less competitive. But we'll go to that theory and strategy later on. As of now, this is what you need to understand. Am I clear, guys? Can you all give me a yes on the chat function? Because that's how we feel that we are alive in a webinar. So I hope this is clear, and you may just shout out a big yes to me. Okay, so now coming to the curriculum. Okay, so in an MS in CS, there are 2 kinds of subjects that you would be studying. Okay, core subjects and electives. Okay, so there are 2 kinds of subjects that you're going to choose. So every MS, may it be M engineering or MS, you're going to have an core subjects and electives. So you remember in the start I mentioned the top reasons why you would consider to go to US. One of the top reason is that students get to decide what they have to study. I am the master, I tailor my own course and I decide what I want to study. Now this freedom makes US the most beautiful destination to go in, and that's exactly why many numbers of students go to US. So saying this, core subjects and electives. So every semester you may typically take 3 or 4 subjects, out of which only 1 subject would be core, rest all would be electives. Now, just imagine how spoiled you are with choices. Have you ever got so much freedom ever in your curriculum year? No. And that's the beauty of US education. You tailor your own syllabus. So if I am someone who's looking out to master in some particular area, even after being in CS, I can do that. I'll show you how, what kind of subjects are there in that case. Okay. So this is the selectives. So what are the core subjects when you go for MS and CS? That's exactly what we wanted to know. Am I right? So students who are thinking to go for computer science masters, look at the core subjects which you may have in the master's program. Every university in US has a very different program. So at Education Street, when we give you the list of universities, we give you the course links as well in a proper Excel sheet that we produce for you, because every university has different core subjects and different electives. And that's exactly what a student needs to read, research, and figure out. So you remember I mentioned to you, you have to choose your major after you do your research. And that's a process in itself. That's why you start early, and that's why you use a counselor or appoint a counselor who helps you do that. There's a difference between a recruiter and a counselor. A recruiter in a market is just going to pull whatever universities they are tied up in the market and give it to you, because they don't care about you. They just want you to pull out your money and set you into a university who's going to give them a commission. At Education Street, we don't do that absolutely, because we believe all of you who's going to US is going to spend lakhs of rupees out there. What they need is care, affection, guidance, and a clarity on what to do with their profile. And that's exactly comes with an experience, and we have that to provide you. So we are paid counselors. We don't work just for someone who just wants to go anywhere. We want to have students who are really looking forward to make a difference in their life. Okay. So the core subjects are computer architecture and organization, advanced operating systems, software engineering, oriented programming in Java, advanced database management systems, programming in Python or C++, theory of computation, compiler design, advanced data structures and algorithms, advanced computer networks, or discrete mathematics. Some of them would be there, not all of them, but these are the core subjects. You may also take your snapshot of this. Moving further, electives and specialization in CS. So CS is a bigger umbrella which allows you to specialize in certain areas. So as I mentioned, every semester you have one subject as core, maximum two. The rest are electives. In that case, you have ample of choices to make. You can specialize with electives from AI, machine learning. It could be data science. It could be robotics. Okay. It could be software engineering. It could be human computer interaction, information systems, or cybersecurity. So guys, let me tell you, AI, we are all aware of it. It's going to change our world to another level. It is as scary as it sounds, but yes, we are going to have cars driven without people. We are going to have automation in industries, and that's how AI is progressing. Are you looking out for artificial intelligence where you want to be part of this invention and innovation area? Then MS in CS is going to provide you artificial intelligence as one of the electives. Okay, so that's how you have to plan. Are you thinking about it? Machine learning is more about predicted decisions. So you decide, there's someone who codes, there's someone who understands the patterns and make decisions. So for example, when you go to IKEA or you go to say DMart XYZ, they analyze the data to understand how the person in the store navigates around. And that's how a pattern is formed. And they understand that beside this thing, we should keep this element so that that can also be sold. One of the example which I'm giving you out. So that's exactly how machine learning can be a great asset for you guys. Data science and analytics. There's enough already been said about data. Data is going to be at another level, and we have seen because of COVID as well that every small or big or medium level company have to start their digital footprints online. More the digital footprints online, that means there's more data every company is going to have. Every company now needs to handle that data, analyze data, and strategize that data. So a data scientist, a data analyst is a huge demand if you're looking out for. So if you're going for MS and CS, you can definitely take your career in this track as well. Robotics, yes. As I said, automation, it's said that a lot of industries, the workmen in the industries are going to be out of jobs because robots are going to take up the joint. So the assembly line where we see a lot of workers which are needed for the machines or the process to happen smoothly may be taken care by the robots which are already functioning in US or China and other places. Now this is how the world is changing. Are you ready to be part of this changing world? If yes, you need to study these. If yes, if you want to, you can take your MS and CS into that role. So these are all the areas and career progressions that you can have, and these are the electives available to you for MS and CS. Software engineering, if you're good at algorithms, you really want to solve and analyze problems through computer applications, you are a person who understands software and hardware, definitely software engineer is a backbone of everything. So there is no way that software engineers gets out away with the trending concepts. It's always going to be there. So that's exactly how a webinar. So today, I would have never imagined when COVID came in, we always used to have before seminars, face-to-face interaction with colleges, cities, and all of these things. Right now, we are sitting in our comfort. A webinar jam is an app, a computer application, which is being designed by some MS and CS engineer out there for making this problem solved. And here we are, you can see me, we can chat through, and that's exactly how software engineers work. And that's the beauty about it. Okay, may it be Facebook, may it be webinar jams, there may it be WhatsApp, all these are computer applications solved by some software engineer. So you can progress towards this as well. Human computer interaction, have you heard about this, guys? Because this is something which is again a very progressing area. If you are someone who is technical but at the same time also has a penchant for aesthetics, I love the way how the placement should go, how the website should look, how the app should look, or how the placement should be, the buttons should be. This is how this makes the computer interaction with humans easier. So if an app is developed but the app doesn't have usability or is not taking care about the ease of the use by humans, you are going to fail miserably. So human computer interaction is where there is a strategy behind how computer and humans can work in sync. So this is exactly what they do. So this is also another area which you can look out. So if you have the creative side to yourself, please go for human computer interaction. Okay, so these are the areas. Information systems. I get a lot of students who want to be into CS but not into coding because they are not good at. I understand. I'm very proud that you have realized that. Be fair enough to yourself. For them, there is the business side of computer science, wherein there's information system. It deals with managing the data. It deals with databases. It deals with data structures, data mining, data warehousing, concepts of technology, but the business side of it. And that means you're working as a management guy wherein you're handling data and deciding on how to handle data. So you're not coding here. Okay, so or you're using technologies like SAP or ERPs and stuff. That's exactly could be a part as well. So MIS again is one of the program, and we are going to cover in a webinar series ahead as well for you to realize what MIS is all about. But if you still want to have CS as an umbrella and want to squeeze in MIS into it, this is where MS and CS provides you this beautiful program. Cybersecurity, a huge requirement. The more we are going digital, the more we are exposed to frauds. The more we have to be careful about our data to be secure. Don't you think so? It's scary that Google knows everything about us, where we are positioned. They have GPS of ours, they know our location, they know where we had been 4 years back, they know everything about us. Now, saying this, cybersecurity is at a huge risk. Our data is something which is at huge risk, and there is more and more amount of people required to secure this data and work with the data security. So if you are someone who looks forward, who has that analytical mind, you may definitely go for cybersecurity. So guys, when you go for MS and CS in US, it's just not about coding. I can definitely choose to go in different paths, and these are the paths which are right in front of you. So if there's a tick anywhere, MS in CS is definitely for you. I hope this supports your answer, and there is a lot of other questions which we are going to answer further to it. Okay. So coming to MS in US, so MS in CS, if it is a yes, then we need the material, the application material to apply to US. We need to take up GRE. GRE is an optional test right now for Jan 22. A good 30% to 40% universities have given waiver for GRE. However, if your aggregate is not strong, if your semesters and your percentage are not that strong, I highly recommend you to go for a GRE exam. So we can talk about it later, but yes, we need a GRE score. If you're applying for Jan 22, the deadlines are now in August and September, so very less time. If you're applying for September 22, the deadlines are going to be from November, so we need to apply by October. So both the ways, maximum students in the poll said, I'm ending the poll right now, but there's almost 80% of the audience today. That means good 80%, that means a good 68 students or 670 students who are going to go only for fall 22. And saying this, you definitely need to start applying and your application process right away. So that's how the poll was. Now coming to the second exam that all of you need to appear for is TOEFL or IELTS. It's an or. So both the exams are widely acceptable by US university. So you may take both the exams. That's absolutely fine. Either of the exams, that's absolutely fine. TOEFL is out of 120. You need to score 100 and above. IELTS is about 9 bands and you need to score 6.5 above. Okay. That's how you need to score. So these are the two entrance tests. You need transcripts from your college. You require an SOP, a statement of purpose. You require 3 letters of recommendation to apply for US. You require a resume, extracurriculars, and financial documents. So these are the set of documents which are required to apply for MS in CS. Now, what do the universities look? Everybody has a question. What are the entry requirements? Typically in US, there are 4,000 plus universities. We all aim and aspire to go into the top 50, top 100, depending on our grades. Now, wherever we are, whatever position we are, let me tell you one thing. If you go to the top 200 or 250 level of universities of US, you're still very sorted in your career. Yes, you heard me right. US has really, really good education out there. But yes, it depends what your profile is. And that's exactly why you require a good counselor to support you to choose your right universities. I'll tell you how you can save money on that. Okay. So you require, what does the universities look at? They look at your entrance test scores. GRE and TOEFL or GRE. TOEFL or IELTS is mandatory. So don't think about not giving a TOEFL and IELTS. GRE depends, but yes, I recommend GRE definitely for US. Sterling aggregate. Yes, not all of us have good aggregates. We need aggregate, that means all semesters are accounted right from your first semester. So whoever had an idea that I would perform in the last year of my bachelor's, I am sorry guys, you're disappointed, but yes, they look at every semester. So grades at every semester matters. So if you're starting early, if you have grades and semesters in your hand, you still have time to work upon. If you don't, please take up a GRE to up your game. Okay. So this is how US provides you a second opportunity for the same. So your aggregate is very important, CGPA or whatever. So typically they require, every university has different requirements. So I would not set there's each one who has a good university to target. But that depends on how you choose the university, because there's so many and there's so many wrong people out there suggesting you something which is really, really wrong. And hence it's very important you choose a good, supporting, clean counselor. Projects and internships, extracurriculars, they don't bypass GRE and aggregate. So never think that I'm very good at aggregate extracurriculars, I have a lot of projects. I'm sorry, they are just elevating your profile. They may be seen, they may be done, but 90% of your application depends on GRE and aggregate. It doesn't depend on extracurriculars. So if you have poor profile, poor CGPAs, go for GRE, work in that. Even if you have a decent GRE of, like, say 300, you're still getting into a good university. Okay, so that's exactly how you plan about when you're looking out to US. Okay, now there may be question that some students who are from IT, computer science, yes, you're allowed. You're from BSc, that means you're 15 years of education. Don't worry, US has started accepting students with 15 years of education as well. You are a student from, say, electrical or some other engineering area and looking forward to go for US and for MS&CS, yes, it's a little difficult thing, but you require a right set of things to be done. Could be some online certifications, could be the way you write your essay, your letter of recommendations. We will make a strategy behind this, and we have done in the past where students apart from CS or IT background have got into MS&CS. So look for us for helping you out further. Now, how many universities do I apply for? Now, this is where we save money. If you have a right counselor, you can choose your universities within the range of 5 to 9 universities. Now, there would be a lot of counselors who would promote online saying there's application fee waiver, application fee waiver. Are you ever going to question yourself, why is it free? Yes, there are some good universities sometimes which run it, but why are you looking at saving your application fee? I understand it is money. Each university may have an application fee of $50 to $100. So assuming $75 is an average cost and you apply for 7 universities, there's going to be a cost of applying to 7 universities around 37,000 rupees in Indian rupees. Now, you are looking to save this 37,000, but I am looking at going to a right university which earns me huge amount of salary and a huge return on investment for the money that I've invested. Now that's where you think long term. I am looking, or I am going behind application fees, and that's what universities have mapped. So universities which want you to go to their place and they want to attract you, they have all started giving fee waivers. And that's how you fall into those universities. And somehow you're applying to only those universities where there is fee waivers. You're saving your 37,000, but guys, you're going to spend lakhs of rupees behind them. The tuition fees may be private, they are higher. You're going to a low level universities with a low grade of performance and learning skills. What about that? How are you quantifying that? That is where your money has to be saved. And that's why look for a counselor who can help you to apply to only 5 universities probably, but good ones, and get you into them. Okay, so this is how you save your money, and that's exactly what I would say you need to strategize around. In US, there are daily schedules. Okay, so basically a student takes 3 courses, example, every semester, and each course has 1.5 hours of lecture. So that means you are going only for classes for 4.5 hours per week. Okay, so that way you may think that you have enough time. You may have a lot of time in hand to waste and entertain yourself. No, guys, there are enough amount of assignments and projects given to you. So that means by reading before point, if you think that you're free for a week or to enjoy, then you're absolutely wrong. Loads of assignments are assigned to students which needs to be complete within deadline, as this assignments counts for your GPA. And yeah, you cannot copy because there's plagiarism. They put all your assignments into a software, and if you're caught, you're suspended. and that's how strict they are. So you need to go to the libraries. There is no one textbook, there is no one curriculum. You are free to go and read what you want to. They would give you a reading list. Come up with an answer which is neither right, neither wrong. So the beauty is you justify your answer. Personally, when I did it in UK as well, I think I loved the most about this was it allowed me to be more analytical. It allowed me to apply my knowledge. It allowed me to research and understand the topic, which I think have gone deep within me, rather than what we have here, whereas we are mugging things and the very next day of our class, we are not even aware of what we were taught in the last semester. Now, saying this, that's exactly why it brings you a good job opportunity later, because you actually become skillful. And that's the beauty of US education. So you have classes which are not spoon feeded. You are given a lot of readings and projects which you have to do on your own. And that's how you become independent. And that's how you do the most of the work. Let me also bring out to a very important concept when you're going for US, and that is the credit systems in US. In India, we have subjects. Whatever grades you get a CGPA out of it. That's how we are used to. But in US, there is something called as credits. All the students who are not aware of this, this is a little technical, but please understand this, because when you go to do your research for any university, these are the terms which you may read. And that's why it is very important. It is connected to your fees, it is connected to your electives, and that's what you need to understand. So every master's you get a degree conferred as an MS in CS to you, depending on the credits that the university want you to clear. The range of the credits may be 30 to 40. Assuming for this example here, you need to do a 30 credits for getting an MS in CS from XYZ university. Credits is irrespective of how many subjects you take. Each subject is identified with 2 or 4 credits. To make an example very easy here, say I am going for one subject and that is giving me 3 credits. That means to get a MS in CS in that university, I need to study 10 subjects. Okay. Typically, the total credits that we require to get an MS in CS ranges from 33 to 36. Okay. But some may have 40 as well. So if I have a 30 degree credits which I want, I need to study 10 subjects. Now, this 10 subjects, I need to perform well as well. So my GPA, which is out of 4 in US, depends on my performance, how many grades I have got. But my credit system, even if I get passing grades, I am getting 30 credits and I'm passing that degree. So one is your GPA, that is your performance, and credit system is that I complete my 10 subjects. So this is how the credit system works. Your tuition fee is outcome of your number of credits. So when you go to find a tuition fee of a US university, it's highly complicated, let me tell you. When we give universities to you, in our Excel sheet, we give you an approximate fees, because even we don't know how much is going to be the cost, because we don't know what electives you are going to choose. So depending on your advanced level of electives that you choose, you may have that many electives. Now, typically you need to study 12 to 15 subjects. Okay. So that's what you study in it. Now you may have heard that a lot of students do their masters of 2 years in 1.5 years only. Now, how is that possible? Again, because US allows you to do that. US is hugely flexible. You can take, instead of 2 subjects per semester, you can take 4 subjects per semester, finish your 10 subjects in 3 semesters, and voila, you're done. Okay. So that's exactly how US helps you to do what you want to do. It's not necessary you do it in 1.5 years, but the choice is yours. Okay. So that's how you can finish your programs, and that's how the credit system works. So when you see for tuition fees, they have 1 credit is equal to $1,000 example. Okay. So $1,000 is into 1 credit. So 30 into $1,000, that means 30,000 is for my entire MS in CS. This is an example that I'm running across because that's how you're going to find out and figure out when you're doing your research for MS and CS universities in US. It works on credit system. Please understand this because it's not available in India, but when you're going abroad, you need to understand their education system. If you still have questions at any point of time, please run them at the chat function. I'm going to answer them later. Now you may ask me that I'm looking out definitely to go for MS and CS in US. How can I prepare myself? Yes. Firstly, you don't have to worry a lot, okay? Because most of the things which are prerequisite, your engineering or BSc degree will cover it out here. But still, if you want some fodder, something to do before you go, these are the things which I have shortlisted for you. So be very good at least at one programming language. I would recommend C++ or Java. Highly usable, highly required. Also helps you to get part-time jobs. Okay. So this is very, very important. Be very familiar with operating systems. Okay. Because OS is one of the key concept of MS and CS. So learn about it. Learn updated OS. Okay. Be very familiar with data structures and algorithms. You need to know their pros and cons in detail. Algorithms is like the mother in an MS and CS program because the better you get at making algorithms, the better you will solve problems and analyze problems. So yes, algorithms you can support and you may learn into those. Have decent knowledge about networking, network systems, and fifth, I would say, have decent knowledge about design pattern and always strive to make your code clean and efficient, because there you have to do coding and you have to go for, if you're going for coding programs, you need to write clean programs because your assignments is going to be graded when you submit your codes. Okay, so that's exactly how I would say prepare before going. So this is how MS and CS brings you OS, networking, discrete mathematics, software engineering, and a lot more into your program. Now let's come to the cost of education. As Indians, we are very, very sensitive to money. And why not? I don't see it negative at all. At the end, we are spending and we have the right to understand where we are spending and how would we return that. Yeah. So that's very, 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 very important in this case. So guys, the cost of education ranges from, so tuition fee is the first cost that we need to understand. In US, there are different kind of fees and universities, but let me tell you, typically the range of fees would be from 12 lakh to 18 lakh rupees a year. Okay, so it's a 2-year program. Quickly multiply into 2, that is going to be your tuition cost. Okay, if I have to save my money, you need to look at these 4 criteria: the rankings of the universities, private or public, location, and credit system. Don't ask me what credit system is. I just explained in my slide before. Okay. So saying this, I need to identify higher the ranking of the university. Unfortunately, the fees is going to be higher. So if I'm looking out to go to Carnegie Mellon, or I'm looking out to go to NYU, or I'm looking out to go to UCLA or a UC Berkeley, I definitely have to pay higher fees because they don't come free. Okay. So that's exactly higher the universities, higher the fees. Private or public, if I want to save my money, I will always go to a state universities because straight away 20% my fees get reduced. Am I looking for that reduction? Definitely. North Carolina State University, California State University, Ohio State University, all the state universities are typically going to give you 20% lesser fees as compared to privates. Okay, so if I am cost sensitive, I want to save my money, think when you choose your universities. Location: Boston, New York, California. What are you guys thinking? The living is going to be expensive. The universities are going to be expensive because they're cities. If you're in Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, or the metro cities of India, definitely you're going to have higher living cost and tuition fees as compared to Nagpur, Nasik, Bhopal, and other places. Am I right? That's exactly how you can go in. But we all have myths in our mind. If I'm in a remote place, I may not have job. Guys, it's US. It's a country. It's a superpower. You cannot say that it's only superpower because you are in California and only jobs are there. No, there are jobs in Connecticut, there are jobs in Indianapolis, there are jobs in every state of US. And you need to believe that, because it's enough that I've seen in my 10 years that there are enough amount of jobs in each state. And even if you happen to be in California, trust me, there is no guarantee you're going to get job in California only. You may get a job in Connecticut, you may get a job in Alabama. And that's how US plays, because opportunities do not wait or depend on the location that you're in. It's a superpower. That means each state has opportunities. Go for a good university, a job would follow. Okay. And credit system. So if I'm looking out to save my money, look at your degree, how much credits they require. If it is 30, 33, the tuition fee is going to be lesser. If it's going to be 40, it is going to be higher. So check upon that. That's exactly what you need to do upon. So this is the research work that you have to do when you're deciding on your university. Living expenses, they cater from 7 lakh to 9 lakh rupees a year. So your components of your expenses are your rent. If you want to save your money, around $300 to $400 is what your rent cost you per month. So save, share your house, be very lesser flamboyant in your life for your student period. Do whatever you want to do later on. Save your money on your rent, and that's exactly how you can earn the money, because every money saved is every money earned. Groceries, $100, utility bills, $100, ad hoc, $200. That's what per month you're going to need a money of around $700 to $1,000. That's around $45,000 to $60,000 rupees. Okay, so the key to save your living cost is your living cost. Your rent. So typically when you're looking out to study MS in US, you are looking at spending around 35 to 45 or 40 to 50 lakh rupees if I have to calculate to go to US. Now this looks like a huge investment, and I really want to tell you, yes, it is a huge investment. And in this case, it's such a huge investment, but you're still looking at petty cost. You're looking at not looking for someone who can guide you. We are not here to just promote about Education Street, guys. What I'm here to tell you here is this: there's enough of wrong practices in the industry. There's enough of forums which try to sell you, which is easy paths. Free is a word which is so stigmatized that, let me tell you, whatever follows free is not good for you. We don't want to offer you anything free. Even in fact, whatever goodie I wanted to give you, I have asked you to do an Insta snapshot to us at Education Street. Then only I'll get it to you. Because I believe if there's efforts, then there is result. And that's what we want you to do. If you are serious about doing, we want to help serious students. We are paid counselors because we do enough research behind you. We want to understand what you want and get you those universities. Okay. But you're looking at shortcuts. You want somewhere where your application fee is waived. That means I have to give you universities which are giving me fee waiver. I cannot pay those fees. Am I right? So that means I'm going to give you compromised universities. I am going to give you universities which are not something which you should have. You have very good grades, you have very good GRE, but I'm still giving you universities which are 150 ranked or 140 ranked. Because that's exactly what you are bringing on table. You're not ready to give me money for my efforts. How am I supposed to fulfill you? Hence, we don't want that. We cut the frills. We want to work with ethics. We want to have clean counseling. And we are not recruiters. We are counselors. We want to mentor you that which university, which course. You can see our efforts by the PowerPoint also that we have made, or the discussion that we are doing, because we want to support a student who is looking forward to make big in his career. So don't look for 1,000 rupees here and there what you're going to spend around. Look for the lakhs of money that you're going to save. Have a long-term vision. Okay. So now, how do you earn your fees? How do you earn your living cost? So to reduce your 7 to 9 lakh rupees that you're going to spend in a year, you're allowed to work part-time in every state of US. Every university allows you to work 20 hours a week. Saying this, you get paid $10 to $14. Let me do a simple maths for you here. $10, say the least, into 20 hours per week, $200 is what you earn per week. Take a snapshot of this, guys. It's very important as a calculation because your parents might ask you, okay? At the end, the burden is on them. So you need the information to give them. Okay. Per month, you're going to earn $200 into 4 weeks. That means $800 is what you're going to earn per month. So as I said, 700 to 1000, at least $800 you can earn. Yeah. Am I right? Can you say a yes? Can you say a bingo on the chat for me to understand you're alive? Is that exactly what you're going to do right now? Can you give me a shout out on the chat room? I would love to do that because I would love to see that you all are alive and with me on the call. So approximately you're going to earn 800 into 12 months, $9,600 a year, around 7 lakh rupees. So guys, you're definitely going to earn your living cost on your own. And if you really want to do that, you need to put in efforts. Working part-time is an efforts. Okay. If you do not work part-time, it's easier, but everybody should work part-time, because if you work part-time, you understand what it is to be a student and earn your metal, earn your living. And it could be any kind of job. It could be on campus, off campus. First year you're allowed to work only on campus. Okay, so this is how it is, guys, and that's exactly. Now let's talk about return on investment. Okay, so say I'm spending around $50,000. Okay, that was my total cost. I'm giving you an example to set a tone that how will I return my money. Okay, so average salary in a US, which I'm going to just come around, is around $70,000 a year. Okay, I'm counting it less. You may get higher than this. Okay, so $70,000, your tax would be say 33%, depends on state, like Texas doesn't have also, but yes, 33%. I minus 23,100. My income becomes $46,900 a year. My expenses now I'm increasing higher because now I'm no more a student. That means I may have a flamboyant lifestyle. So $2,000 per month, very rich, yeah. So $2,000 per month into 12, 24,000 per year. So my savings is income minus expenses. So 22,900 per year is my savings, guys. That means every student who goes to US typically removes the money that they have invested from their parents or educational loan by 2.5 years to 3.5 years. That's your OPT period, 3 years after your education in US. So all who are worried to go to MS in US, 2 years, you get a 3-year OPT, which I'm just going to cover. So don't worry about your H1B also. There are enough people who worry about whether I'll get H1B or not. Why are you worried? If you have a job, you will get an H1B. I know it's a lottery system, but there is enough people who get it. There are enough number of students. Don't go that far. Think about your next 3 years. Are you going to return your money? Yes, you're going to return your money. So MS in CS is definitely rewarding. Now, what are the top jobs for CS degree holders? You may work as a software application developer, computer system analyst, computer programmer, network system administrator, database administrator, computer system engineers, software quality assurance engineer, web developer, computer user support specialist, information security analyst. So guys, these are typical roles, job roles, which you may take up once you have done MS and CS. So I hope I've given you a roadmap about how to go about choosing your MS. If you're going for MS and CS, what all you need to do to apply to the universities, how to go to the right universities, what would be the job roles, and how would you return your money. Now, this is called the journey of an MS and CS when you go to US. I am sure you must have got a lot of your answers, but let's see what are the pay scales. That's exactly again. I counted 70,000 in my last slide just to give you an approximation, but it's always higher. So a software engineer gets around $86,000. A senior software, so if you are with work experience, of course you may get higher. So it's around $98,000. A software developer may get around $75,000. A senior software engineer or developer may get a $98,000. A software architect may get a 1 lakh plus dollar package. A senior software architecture may get 1.2 lakh plus dollars, and a lead software engineer may get again $112 package. Guys, US is a magnet. US is a land of opportunity. That means there's enough salaries and jobs. Nothing comes easier. People may say it's difficult to get. People may say it's getting very difficult. People may say it is very, very, competitive. Who said it is easy? It is not easy. It is definitely not easy. All of us would have been there if it would have been easy. So the question is, are you ready for the hustle? Are you ready for putting in the effort? If the answer is yes, then go to US. Otherwise, you are comfortable here. The most comfortable place would be your home. You are here with your parents, your family, your friends, your basic, comfort zone. You have everything here. Don't go anywhere then. But if you are someone among the people who are looking out for the hustle, who are looking to take a rewarding journey ahead, then go to US. No easy solutions at all. So now coming to the OPT. So OPT is a visa concept. So once you go for a 2-year course and a STEM course, you get a 3-year OPT, that is optional practical training. So first you get, when you finish your 2-year program, everybody gets a 12-month OPT. Even if you have a 3-year visa, so in US F1 visa, you get a 5-year visa. But when you apply for OPT, okay, you get 1 year, 12 months, STEM or non-STEM. But MS in CS is a STEM program, okay? So you apply for a 12-month OPT. Everybody gets, provided you finish your degree. I'm sure you will finish your degree, okay? So post-completion OPT, work must be related to your course of study. So then you're good to look for jobs. So it should be related to your job. You working as a cashier in Walmart is not a job. Okay, you working as a CS graduate in any of the companies, yes, it is allowed. Then you may also look for OPT pre-completion. So when you have 4 semesters in US, after 2 semesters, you are allowed to do an internship. Now, if this internship is more bigger, probably not 2 months, but a 6-month or a 1 year, just imagine US allows you that as well. I had a student who had been to Northeastern. She got a 3-month internship with Microsoft. They liked her work. They made it possible for her for a 1-year project. So she applied for her 12-month OPT in between of finishing her MS in CS, which is called a CPT, pre-completion OPT. Okay. So OPT extension is given after your 12 month is over. That is 24 months. So you get another 2 years of OPT. So if you don't get H1B in between this, it's absolutely fine. But as on a STEM student, as on an F1, you have 3 cycles of H1B to file. 3 years are more than enough for your H1B to come out. In fact, you may get it in the first year itself. So don't worry, guys. There is efforts. There's someone who's scared out there because he's still studying in US and he's passing that fear to you. Please don't answer that. Please don't absorb to it. Look for so many of your students and seniors who are working there. Yeah. So it is efforts. What they're trying to tell you is it is effort. They struggle. They apply to 100 jobs. They apply to 200 jobs. And that's where they crack their 1 job. So if you are ready for that, then only you go to US. That's my answer to all of you. Okay. So that's about OPT, guys. So bringing us to the end. And that's exactly what we wanted to share. I hope I answered it well enough. So US is a land of opportunities. It's enough stress that I can put in that US is a beautiful country to go in for. And MS and CS is a beautiful program with a great rewards ahead. Okay. So at Education Street, as I mentioned, we look forward to serve you. We look forward to counsel you. We want to support you to go to US. So we have services right from shortlisting of the universities. We help you to apply for 8 universities. We have complete guidance for your application material. We have editors for SOP editing, LOR editing. We don't write it from scratch because, as I said, we are clean counselors. I will be unfair to write your SOP from scratch because I'm cut, copying, paste. I want your heart and soul. My editors brings that out. Okay. So that's exactly what we provide. Transcript instructions, CV and resume instructions. We have online application. My team helps and fill your 8 application forms. We do that with precision. We do that with experience. So any courier packet to be sent, financial assistance and parent counseling to your parents, loan assistance, getting your I-20, your visa form, your visa file, 3 rounds of mock interviews that we take for each student and which I do for each student. You can go on our Google reviews, guys. Okay. Website is where what I put things, right? You go on our Google reviews, Education Street Mumbai or Education Street Mulund. Go and look at our Google reviews. I am so confident you can see. And if you are someone who's technical, you would know I cannot delete or edit or do anything with my Google reviews. Okay. So you definitely can go and gauge us, because that's exactly what I promise, that we are clean counselors and we are paid counselors, and we would love to support you in your MSN journey. In case if you're looking for some other country to apply with US, maybe UK, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Singapore, Canada, whichever popular destination, we support you with that as well. So if you're looking for these countries, we are there. We are game for it. In fact, we have a lot of students who apply for multi countries, because that's how it has been. People want to apply for multiple countries to understand how they can progress. Okay. At the end, I have a very, very deep message to all of you guys. End of education is character. We all feel end of education is a job, or end of education is a salary that we get. I'm sorry, guys. These are the ways we quantify and limit ourselves. If you have earned your degree, right? If you have absorbed the knowledge, you are a magnet. You are going to attract all the best possible things, the best possible job, the best possible salary range, and everything that you require. So basically, it is you who improvises, it is you who you get as an asset, and you become a magnet for the best possible dream life that you want. So, end of education is character. It is very close to me. Believe this to yourself. Please don't go for the competitive language or the trending jobs or the trendsetters, and try to go and push yourself, which you don't like to do, because you will not be the best character that you can be. So that's my message for you. And at Education Street, we strive to support you. We look forward that we be in touch. We look forward to be counselors to you. And definitely, we are looking forward to be in touch. And hence, these are our website. My personal email ID I've shared, ankita@educationstreet.in. So in case if you want to write back to me or have a discussion with me, you can do that as well. And our telephone number as well. Our entire counseling goes online nowadays because of COVID. But yes, that's the beauty. We have our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages, and we impart every day a lot of information. We take steps, we take efforts to give you the best information, guys.